This morning, the candidates are already off to New Hampshire with the Iowa caucuses in chaos.
At some point, the results will be announced.
With an unprecedented breakdown in reporting the returns. After waiting all night and early into the morning, still no winner has been declared.
The Iowa Democratic Party is working to get this result, get them straight. And I want to make sure they're very careful in their deliberations.
Overnight, the Iowa Democratic Party saying it found inconsistencies in the reporting of 3 sets of results from the caucuses, saying the delay was the result of a reporting issue and not due to a hack or an intrusion involving the party's new results app. In other words, the app was not hacked. Caucus officials saying it was confusing and difficult to download. The lack of results giving each candidate a chance to spin it in their favor.
We don't know all the results, but we know by the time it's all said and done, Iowa, you have shocked the nation.
I have a good feeling we're going to be doing very, very well here in Iowa.
It is too close to call, so I'm just going to tell you what I do know.
You won!
We know there's delays, but we know one thing. We are punching above our weight.
The Iowa Democratic Party first announcing the delay hours after the caucuses began, saying the integrity of the results is paramount and pointing to the need for quality checks. President Trump easily won the Republican caucuses in Iowa, his re-election campaign manager taking aim at the Democrats, tweeting without evidence, "Quality control equals rigged?" The delay raising new questions about the future of the Iowa caucuses, a voting process that already confuses many across the country. Unlike primaries where voters cast a secret ballot for their candidate, caucus goers publicly declare their preferred pick. But if a candidate gets less than 15% of the people present, they are considered unviable. Then those caucus goers get to pick one of the candidates who is viable and move to that group before a new count is taken. A process that could go on for some time. David Plouffe, who managed Barack Obama's 2008 campaign, says 2020 could be the end of the line for Iowa.
We may be witnessing the last Iowa caucuses. I mean, this was already under threat, and I think this is just going to add to that.
The Iowa Democratic Party says the results here will come out later today. There were a pair of phone calls last night between the party and the campaigns that got tense at times. Particularly frustrated by the failure was the Bernie Sanders campaign. These campaigns rely on a big moment here for momentum and money as they head to New Hampshire, the primary there exactly 1 week from today. And pouncing on all of it is the President of the United States, Donald Trump, on Twitter this morning, describing it as an unmitigated disaster for Democrats. Savannah?
All right, Peter, thank you. Let's turn to Chuck Todd and NBC senior legal and investigative correspondent Cynthia McFadden, who has been literally up all night looking into what happened here. So, Cynthia, what did you find out?
Well, I think the headline is it wasn't the Russians in this case. It appears to be the Democrats who did it to themselves. The Democrats wanted to have a new app to get faster results from the nearly 1,700 caucuses. They also felt it would be more transparent. Didn't turn out that way. What happened essentially is that caucus chairs were supposed to download this new app to their personal cell phones. I mean, already security analysts.
Some questions, yes.
But okay, that's what they were supposed to do. It came out really late. As they start trying to do that,
they got the app late.
Yeah,
we don't get it till yesterday.
Well, we don't know exactly when they got it, but they told us they got it late in the process. So many of them were working on it yesterday and early yesterday morning. In fact, NBC News has been able to review a memo between some of the party bigwigs and some of the caucus chairs in which they were saying things like, nobody having trouble with the app should feel dumb. So they knew yesterday morning, long before voting commenced yesterday evening, that there was a problem.
Okay, but I thought they had backup plans and all of that. That was the big innovation of Iowa this year. Now we're going to have paper cards and we can recount, and that's what they're doing now? Or?
Well, that's what they are doing. Thank goodness for the paper. I mean, they did have people write down their selections.
It's 2020. Thank goodness for the paper.
Yeah, well, and now they're recounting those. But, you know, we should just note, you know, we knew last night by 5:30 that at least 12 of the caucus chairs were unable to use the app. It turned out to be a lot more than that. They went to the phone. Yeah. The phone didn't work. 2 hours. Some people waited.
Some of these precinct chairs calling in can't get in with a party. Is that right?
They couldn't get through.
Okay, so Chuck, let me turn to you on this. I mean, we have a literal "Can you hear me now" moment with the Iowa caucus situation. Iowa's supposed to be about momentum. It's supposed to be about the headline this morning for the candidates. Of the candidates, who wins, who loses, given this set of events?
Well, if you look at the entrance polls that we have, some of the, and certainly look at how that extrapolated out, it's the best we have, the data we have. We've seen what the data the campaigns have also shared. It appears to comport at least to what we're seeing in the entrance polls. So if you think about who benefits, maybe the person who benefited the most from this glitch might have been Joe Biden. Because all indications are that Joe Biden was sitting somewhere in the third or fourth range in with the first alignment, and after realignment, and he was below threshold in quite a few spots. And so while he polled okay in the entrance poll, it's very possible that once they do the delegate reallocation, he was going to be in fourth. The Warren campaign believes that. Other campaigns also believe that. Our entrance polls indicate that there was a real possibility of that, too. So if you look at it in that sense, Joe Biden sort of may have dodged a bullet. And then you look at Pete Buttigieg, who may have been the person hurt the most here. It appears that Sanders brought more people to the caucuses than anybody else. And even the Buttigieg campaign is not claiming they had more people show up. But his support was the most spread out. It was the most across the board. And, you know, whether it was the caucuses we were covering in real time, plus what we've seen in some of the data, it appears that he may have been the one that could have won on the second realignment. The point is this, though, Savannah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Pete Buttigieg could have been a big it's a big national story for him. He really he went the old school way. Iowa, New Hampshire, Iowa, New Hampshire. Yeah. He didn't really try to build a national campaign yet. So
he needed the bounce.
This totally wastes. Think about it. I was tallying it up. I'm up to some $300 million that may have just been wasted by all these campaigns combined. Well, I just feel so bad for these workers, both the paid, the unpaid.
Think about the people who spent the better part of a year in Iowa knocking on doors, giving speeches.
They left their lives. They left lives back home. I mean, you know.
We really are egregiously over time, but Chuck, real quickly, I mean, it's been talked about for a long time about should Iowa go first?
Yeah.
I mean, is this the moment where the Democrats or Republicans make Iowa first, too? I mean, is this where it ends?
This is the third straight caucuses that we've had a dispute about the results. 2012, Republicans took them days to tell us who won. 2016, there's still disputes about who won.
0.2 of a point.
So it's both parties. I think Iowa will do the country a favor. They're going to move to a primary. I think we've just learned it's done.
Chuck Todd, Cynthia McFadden, I would say both of you were up all night, in fairness, okay? So get some rest and thank you.